I think that Julie and I need to leave.
What?
Leave what?
Yeah,
The farm?
Yeah.
Betty couldn't take it. And as you could see, Brandon was unbothered. He told his parents that he and Julia are moving out. And you would have thought he said he hated them and was never gonna talk to them again. I mean, Ron almost jumped across the table.
It's not my decision. It's not.
It is your
decision.
decision. You're the man of the family.
Gosh.
Yeah, this was a big deal to them. Eventually, they came to a compromise. But the way Brandon's parents left dinner, I'm not sure how long that's gonna last. We're gonna talk about it. Plus, Stephanie and Ryan's storyline continues to blow my mind. She finally told him she slept with his cousin Harris, and as expected, he already knew. But here comes the plot twist. In the preview for the rest of the season, we see her with the cousin, and Ryan is nowhere to be found.
I love you so much.
What in the world? Hey 90 Day Fans fam, it's Melicia. This season is definitely picking up. And if you didn't think things were extreme already, with this whole Stephanie situation, I'm sure you do now. But before we get into that, let's chat about Brandon and Julia. Quick refresh. Last week, Julia revealed that she's had enough of the farm life and told Brandon that they either get their own place or she's going back to Russia. Brandon is still recovering from some debt, but in an attempt to be the man that we're all telling him to be, he made a decision to tell his parents that he's moving out.
Is there something that happened specifically that's
This makes her
created
angry
this?
with us, or is it just the animals?
I think it's half animals and half my mother with her neediness for me.
Am I the only one who felt the urge to hug Betty? Don't cry, Mrs. Betty. Okay, Brandon was a bit harsh with that last statement about her neediness, but I feel like he's been holding that in for a minute. Have you ever been in a situation where someone was irritating you so bad, but you didn't want to say anything because you didn't want to hurt their feelings? So you just kept your cool and you held it in. But all it takes is one stressful situation for it just to come all out. No sugarcoating anything for it just to pour out. I feel like that's what happened with Brandon. But I'm surprised he kept his cool that much. You know, he could have said, "Mom, you're the issue. You're the reason my fiance is pissed. You're the problem." He didn't do that. He still managed to keep it sweet. Just a bit.
All I'm trying to do is do the right thing and love you and embrace her and bring her into our family. We were hoping that we were all going to be able to, like, pass on the farm and have it go from generation to generation, and that your children would love the farm.
That's a beautiful world you paint, but
But this has been our
I don't
world.
think that's the
It's
world
been
we were
our
hoping
world.
for.
I wanted it to be gaining a daughter rather than losing my son.
Where is he going? Can anyone tell me? Is the only way he can be your son is if he lives in your house? And it's also not fair to assume life on a farm would be Brandon's dream. I get as a parent, you want to create a livelihood for your children and your children's children, but you should also ask them if that's the life that they want. It's not right to just assume and then guilt trip them if they want something different.
Is there anything that we can do that could maybe change her mind or make her...
I don't know, maybe I can throw in a bargaining chip. Maybe we can stay in the same room.
No.
No,
Stop.
absolutely
Stop,
not.
stop.
No, stop. Absolutely
No, Ron,
not.
I
You know
think-
what? No,
Ron.
because you know what? I'm not going to give in to her. You know what?
Ron.
No, stop. No, there's got to be some respect here, Brandon. And that makes me angry because if this is what it's going to take, you know what? You guys do need to find your own place. No.
I think so.
Absolutely. But then
Wait,
that's fine.
wait. Stop,
But
stop. Stop.
No. Ron was not having it. Unfortunately for him, Brandon did get what he wanted, which is to stay on the farm and save money but sleep in the same room with Julia. You know his mom was not gonna let him go that easy.
I'm just shaking my head. I'm just like,
Think positive.
whatever,
please.
whatever.
After Brandon left dinner, he took Julia out to a bar and told her the news. After hearing it, she agreed to stay at his parents' only for a little while longer. Although now she is concerned about how his mom is going to treat her from this point forward, which is definitely something to think about.
So, we sleep same room today?
We're gonna stay together and do maybe a little more than sleep.
What to do?
I was thinking maybe we could do some crossword puzzles.
Silly boy. Now I feel nice that we start because we start live for each other. And not mom, not father, only Brandon and me.
Now Julia's gonna get to stay in the same room with me and we're not gonna have to sneak around. I couldn't be more happy. This is everything we wanted.
While this is cute and all for the moment, something tells me that it is not about to be that simple. I think there's gonna be a catch somewhere. If not, I will be pleasantly surprised. But I'm sure there will be. All right, Stephanie and Ryan. She came clean about sleeping with his cousin. Now, I understand that this will be a hard conversation for anyone to have, but the way it started just caught me off guard. It was uncomfortable and awkward.
You know, it's been 10 months since I saw you. I'm just kind of wondering, like, you know, why we didn't have sex last night.
Oh, I guess you were a bit tired. I was a bit tired, so I was hoping I would get the first night to rest.
Even if you banged me for 2 or 3 minutes, it's about the bonding at this point. I mean, I wasn't expecting the big hour sessions that, you know, that we usually have when I'm on vacation. But I haven't seen you in 10 months. I mean, so I was kind of thinking, well, I wouldn't mind a quickie.
First of all, that was TMI. Second of all, Stephanie, you have bigger things to worry about right now than a quickie. In my head, I was just thinking, girl, get to the point. And slowly but surely, she did. She brought up the night everything happened. Apparently, Ryan was texting another girl about going on vacation, and Stephanie saw the messages, threw his phone, and kicked him out of the hotel. She says she thought they were done for good. And that's when his cousin Harris came over.
You know, when I met your cousin Harris, he was so nice to me all the time, telling me how beautiful I was and just giving me all these compliments. And he called me every day. I mean, even right in front of you, Harris is very bold, and you know that. And so I said, I just threw Ryan out. I've had it this time. And he said, can I come see you? Because I was crying so hard. I mean, it's been so long since you've made me feel special, you know? So I had him come, and he spent the night with me that night.
Ryan looked as if he would have rather been anywhere else in the world than in that bed. It's such an embarrassing conversation to have with cameras around. And Stephanie just lost it after he told her he already knew.
Well,
I already know it.
are you joking? I mean, are you kidding me right now? I just admitted to you. You knew.
I think Harris is that ass. I found it really wrong and disrespectful, especially from my cousin, right? But I already know that about Harris and Stephanie because I have a ton of friends that work at the hotel, you know?
I know it seems like Ryan doesn't care, but I think he does. I think it's less about Stephanie though, and more about pride. His cousin was able to get something that was supposed to belong to him. That's a shot to any man's ego. At the same time, that doesn't mean he's gonna throw away the money, the gifts in America. Hence to why he's still sticking around. After Stephanie confessed, Ryan made it clear that he forgives her and just wants to move on with their relationship, which is even more proof, if you still need it, that Ryan is not genuinely interested in Stephanie. Any man who loves their woman would be livid if this happened. Now, at the end of the episode, they gave us a teaser for the rest of the season. And all I have to say is Stephanie better be careful. Because if Harris would backstab his cousin, what does she think he would do to her?
This is over.
I'm trying to embarrass you.
I'm not trying to embarrass you. I'm trying to call you out, Ryan.
2020. Eat my ass.
Now that Ryan's gone, I'm so happy that Harris is here.
I love you so much.
Do you really mean that?
No, he doesn't. It sounds like a lie. Let's send Stephanie some good vibes. She needs them, okay? All right, 90 Day Fans fam, I'm sending you good vibes as well. Make sure you stick with ET because as usual, we are covering it all. I'll see you next time.